With Worlds headed back to China, we really wanted to create a fresh skin line to celebrate the region in a new way. The world of Dragonmancers is all about great heroes who earn the blessings of powerful dragon gods. We thought that kind of story would be exciting for players in China, but also players all over the world. The line really began with Storm Dragon Lee Sin, a martial artist who ascends the mountain to earn the blessing of the Storm Dragon. We thought this was such a strong fit for Lee Sin's champion personality, being this disciplined monk who would be able to pull off something as amazing as this. And from there, we just had more stories we wanted to tell in the universe of what other heroes would look like and other dragon deities, what powers they might have. So over the last year, we were able to expand the line to what you see today.
Dragonmancer is a high fantasy world full of natural wild beauty and inhabited by majestic dragons. Powerful humans undertake tremendous feats to prove themselves worthy of the rarest of boons, a dragon's blessing, which allows them to control an elemental force. The dragons themselves remain neutral in human affairs, but when a dragon-blessed human uses that power for selfish reasons, many suffer.
I would say my favorite features about this Lee Sin skin is how he engulfs his victim's death screen in a storm whenever he kills someone. Like, he's so strong that even your death screen is affected by him. Like, I just love that. And also, yeah, whenever he's in the river, like getting ready for a gang or just getting scuttler, like, he's so strong, he's so powerful that his energy and electricity just crackers in his feet and propagates into the river. And that's just, I love that. And of course, he has some of the best emotes, like my favorite ones, honestly. Of course, I'm biased, but I just love them. It's like his dance animation. Whenever they showed it to me, I was like, oh my god, just do it, just keep it. I just add VFX to it and just keep it, don't change it, it's perfect. And like, to be honest, that's my favorite dance animations in the game. Like, it's just so good. I don't play a lot of Lee Sin, but whenever I get him in ARAM, like, I'm just gonna spam that dance all the time. And of course, also his taunt is amazing. Like, and then it just flexes on you hard by doing it with only his eyes, and that's just I love that so much. I'm so glad we kept that IDE, and I really hope that all the players like it too.
I worked closely with Michael Luo on the skin line, and we drew a lot from Chinese epics in particular. These stories focus heavily on heroes who often must face incredibly challenging trials before they unlock their full potential. This is a recurring motif for many of the Dragonmancers.
For Dragonmancers, we wanted these dragons to feel like divine beings, bestowing their mystical powers upon those who they've deemed to be worthy. We perceive Eastern dragons as more magical, divine, revered, whereas we perceive Western dragons as more intimidating, ferocious, feral, and dangerous. So naturally, the narrative around Eastern dragons is typically that of worshipping and revering them, whereas the story revolving around Western dragons is typically around slaying them and quelling their threats. So we're still exploring and learning more about Eastern cultures, but we hope that this portrayal of Dragonmancers resonates particularly well with all of our players, but especially our Eastern players.
The Eternal Dragon has dominion over life and death, but Brand now uses its power only for death. The Storm Dragon summons storms out of nowhere, and can also dissipate them if it wants to. The Fey Dragon is responsible for hidden magic. And finally, the Obsidian Dragon grants its human pure strength. Within this thematic, Lee Sin was a monk in the temple dedicated to the Storm Dragon, Aurelian's soul. Lee Sin proved his strength and devotion for many years, culminating in a difficult pilgrimage to the summit where Aurelian's soul lives. Impressed with his fortitude, Aurelian's soul chose to bless Lee Sin, and now Lee Sin considers himself the protector of Aurelian's soul and of all dragons.
So when we set our sights on creating a new thematic, it starts with a pitch, right? What's the fresh new angle that we're gonna explore for our champions? You know, are they a K-pop group? Are they a blood cult? Are they all of our creature champions imagined as mecha, right? Once we land on sort of a nugget of an idea, we will run through a process that we like to call thematic development, where we answer a lot of questions in order to build out this world as sort of an alternate reality take on our base lore, right? Gone are the days when we just sort of like change the color of the texture on a model. You know, we fully try to explore what these worlds ultimately are and who these champions are in them. some of those questions, we get really into the weeds of, like, what do the people on the street look like? What's the architecture look like? What are the power sources for our champions? There's a lot of questions we try to answer in that process, and we try to do it fairly exhaustively. And we use narrative and art, sort of organically working back and forth with each other to build the world, and also craft documentation that we use internally so that we can be aligned on our skins teams, once we start production on a skin or a group of skins. And that information also is passed along to our partner teams with Splash and marketing and a number of different other assets.